You're failing because you're doing it alone. Society has told us a lie. The self-made hero who builds an empire from nothing all by themselves. But this myth is the very reason you are terrified of taking on big tasks. The truth is, not even the billionaires that we are told to admire actually succeed on their own. Stick with me, and I'll show you why building a powerful support system is the real key to unlocking your confidence in finally achieving what you're capable of. We are obsessed with the story of the lone genius, visionary in the garage who, through sheer force of will, changed the world. We love this image because, well, it feels empowering. It tells us that with enough grit, any of us can do it. But what if that story wasn't just an exaggeration? What if it's a fiction that's actually holding you back? Let's pull the curtain back on some of these self-made icons. Take Jeff Bezos. The legend is that he started Amazon in his garage. And yes, while the early work did happen there, the story conveniently leaves out that his parents gave him a crucial initial investment of nearly $250,000. Now, honey, that's a lot of money, okay? $250,000. And that's not starting with nothing. It's a story of a family believing in a vision, providing the support to make it real. What about Bill Gates? A Harvard dropout who built a software empire? But a key moment in Microsoft's history is when Bill Gates' mother, Mary Gates, who sat on the board of a nonprofit with the chairman of IBM, used that connection to help her son's small company get a meeting that put Microsoft operating systems on every, and I mean every IBM computer, catapulting the company into legend. It wasn't just the code, it was connection. This pattern, it keeps going. Mark Zuckerberg, while brilliant, came from an upper middle class family who supported his early projects. And he got a pivotal early investment from Peter Thiel. And then later on in his career, as he navigated the challenges of operating a global company, he would turn to people like Steve Jobs for advice and inspiration. Now, speaking of Steve Jobs, he's often seen as the ultimate lone visionary. But Apple Computer was born because he had a co-founder, Steve Wozniak, the technical genius who actually designed their first computer. They didn't have a huge family check. They sold their prized possessions, Jobs' VW microbus, and Wozniak's calculator, to scrape up about $1,300 for their first parts. Even this icon of garage innovation didn't do it alone. He had a partner. Story is always the same. Behind every self-made hero, there's a network. Parents, mentors, investors, partners, and friends who provide emotional, financial, and strategic support. Richard Branson, founder of the Virgin Group. He has repeatedly credited mentorship of airline pioneers Sir Freddie Laker, giving him the confidence and the know-how to take on the giant airline industry. Problem with the self-made myth is that it creates possible standard. I mean, it's all the way up here, girl. Maybe we reach to the stratosphere. It's all the way up there. Impossible standard. It makes us think that asking for help is a sign of weakness, that needing a connection is cheating, that relying on others means that success isn't really ours. And that belief is why so many of us feel paralyzed by our big goals. We think that we have to carry the entire weight of our ambitions on our own. And, well, we stumble. We then assume that the failures is ours and ours alone. I used to believe this myth too. And it almost cost me everything. Well, a few years ago, I was trying to launch a huge huge project, a candle business. Bountiful Moon, my baby. To this day, it is the biggest thing that I've ever attempted. And I was convinced I had to prove that I can do it all by myself. I saw it as a way to prove it to myself and to others that I was strong enough. I worked relentlessly, isolating myself because I didn't want anyone's input to taint my vision. I didn't ask for advice because I was terrified. It would expose that I didn't know anything. I didn't ask for help because I thought that it would make me look stupid. Week after week pushed forward, desperate to prove myself. But the project wasn't just stalling, it was failing. Every setback felt like a personal indictment. I became overwhelmed, anxious. The isolation I had chosen as a sign of strength started to feel more like a prison. Stopped before I truly got started. The turning point came when I was watching some YouTube creators. Watching them gather their friends and family to film a funny video. I thought to myself, how nice must it be to have that connection? And for the first time, I dropped the everything was fine act. The dam broke. I had to come face to face with my fears, the failures, the crushing loneliness of it all. I confess that I felt like I had no idea what I was doing. That conversation was a lifeline. It made me realize that my problem wasn't a lack of talent or hard work. My problem was a toxic mindset. When you link responsibility with past experience of failure or with shame, you start to subconsciously avoid it. This creates a terrible cycle. You fear taking on big tasks because you don't feel supported, and because you don't take them on, you never build the confidence or the network to get that support. You get stuck in a loop. That feeling of failure is profoundly isolating. But the truth is, you're not failing because you're incapable. You're struggling because you're trying to climb a mountain without a team, without gear, or without a rope. So if the self-made hero is a myth, what's the reality? Well, success is a team sport. Confidence isn't something you magically find within yourself. It's built and it's reinforced the people you surround yourself with. Breaking free of the cycle means being strategic about building your support systems. Here are the 3 pillars you need. Pillar 1, a mentor. A mentor is someone who's already walked the path that you're on. They offer the kind of strategic guidance that can save you years of trial and error. Think back to our examples. Richard Branson had Sir Freddie Laker. A great mentor isn't there to give you all the answers. They're there to ask the right questions, offer a fresh perspective when you're too close to the problem, and share some hard-won lessons from their failures. Finding one can be intimidating, but it doesn't have to be some kind of formal arrangement. It can start by you reaching out to someone you admire and asking them just for 15 minutes of their time. You'd be surprised how many people are willing to help, especially when they see a bit of their younger selves in you. A mentor provides the map and the compass for your journey ahead. Pillar number 2, the peer group. While mentors give you a view from the top, your peer group is right there in the trenches with you. These are other entrepreneurs, artists, or colleagues who get your specific struggles. Because, well, honey, they live in them too. This is your source of brainstorming and mutual accountability. Your peer group is your sounding board for half-baked ideas, your motivation on days when you just want to quit, and your reality check when you start to lose your perspective. They're the ones who will celebrate the small wins with you because they know exactly how much effort you put into making those wins. This isn't just about networking. It's about building real connections with people who share your drive. You can find them in online communities, local meetups, or even by starting your own small group. They remind you that you are not crazy for having big ideas. Number 3, your emotional anchors. This might be the most important pillar of them all. Your emotional pillars are the people who support you unconditionally. Your family, your close friends, your partner. They may not get all the details on what you're building, but they get you. This is the emotional support that is essential for resilience. Know that a strong emotional support system can reduce stress, anxiety, and the depression that leads to burnout. These are the people you can be totally and truly vulnerable with. The ones you call when you feel like a complete failure, knowing that they won't judge you. They provide the psychological safety net that allows you to take on big risk in the first place. Nurturing these relationships isn't a distraction from your goals. The very work that makes achieving these goals possible. Do not take them for granted. The biggest obstacle to building this system is the fear of asking for help. We see it as a burden. We see it as a sign of weakness. But you have to reframe it. Asking for help is not a confession of failure. It's an act of strategic strength. For too long, we worshiped a myth that only serves to isolate us and make us afraid. The self-made hero is a ghost. Boo! True strength is not found in rugged individualism. Found in the courage to connect. To ask for help and build a team of people who believe in you. The goal isn't to be a self-made hero. It's to build a life so well supported that you can confidently take on any challenge, knowing you don't have to face it alone. Success isn't about what you can do by yourself. It's about what we can all do together. So, let's make this practical, shall we? Don't let this just be another video that you watch. Take action right now. First, take out your phone and send a message to one person that you trust. A friend, a potential mentor, and share one goal that you're working on. Just putting it out there is step one. Second, find one online group or local meetup related to your goals. And join it this week. Join it, friend. Join it. Immerse yourself in a community. And third, leave a comment below and write, "I'm building my system." By declaring it, you're making a commitment to yourself and joining a community of people who are doing the same thing. A success story doesn't have to be a myth about you doing it alone. It could be a true story about doing it together. It could be a true story about the power of doing it together. My name is Sean, and I'm here to remind you that you got this, I got this, we got this. And I will talk to you all later. Bye, guys.